Question says, with regards to the Eid prayer or the Eid day, and before you pray the Salah, there's someone on the microphone who's glorifying Allah Azza wa Jal, saying what you're supposed to say, what you're advised to say on the day of the Eid, and the people repeat after him. Is that permissible? Is that from the Sunnah? That's your question? So, two ways of answering it. The first way is, we're going to explain the rulings of the Eid, inshallah, tomorrow morning and tomorrow evening. And also, hopefully on Thursday as well. Thursday morning and Thursday evening. So we'll get to that. But the simple basic answer is that the Muslims, they're allowed to make the takbir of the Eid, but for them to intentionally say it in unison and intentionally say it back to back all together following one person is something that is not necessarily the best thing to do. It's not necessarily the best thing to do. If the people make the takbir and it happens by accident, like when you're on Hajj, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, and the bus, they say it all together because one person started it off and the people, they said it. That's one thing. But for one person to be on a microphone and every single person to follow after him exactly back to back is not necessarily the best thing to do. Now there are hadiths that teach us in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, the tasbih or the takbir, it would fill the masjid, things like this, and the aswaq, the marketplaces, narrations like this, in which the people would say it together. But every single time, with the intention, everybody follow me, one person, is not necessarily the best thing to do. For a person to say it every now and then, he gets on the microphone, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, and he stops. And then the people, they go back and they do it themselves. He charges them up, revs them back up, gets them back into rhythm. Mumkin, maybe. But one person constantly on the mic, saying it over and over again, and the people are saying it behind him over and over again, back to back, in unison, that's something that's not necessarily the best thing to do. And Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. That's in brief.
Nasir, Medina, Saudi Arabia, Hadith, may Allah bless you. When does a student come to a conclusion a person shouldn't be listened to or shouldn't be taken knowledge from?
Question says, coming from Medina, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, when does a student reach a decision that a person shouldn't be listened to and you shouldn't take knowledge from this person? Hayyakum Allah, may Allah bless you and reward you well. In the Prophet ﷺ city, our city. With regards to this question, if a student of knowledge is going to determine himself when a person can and cannot be listened to, then that's a bit of an oxymoron. It's a bit of an oxymoron. And that's because if this student of knowledge has enough knowledge, enough experience, is strong mentally enough to determine that someone shouldn't be listened to, then that basically means and proves that this student of knowledge has the ability to discern and to decipher and to figure out something's wrong with this person, but not 100% wrong with him, because he has to consider it. He has to reach a conclusion. If it was clear falsehood, or if a person was totally unqualified to teach, everybody understand this? Then the student of knowledge wouldn't be listening to him from the what? From the get-go. So the moment that he's thinking and deciding and discerning, it proves that the student of knowledge is supposed to have a certain level of ability. And if you have that certain level of ability, then that proves that you can listen to whoever you want to. Because I can take the good and what? Leave off the bad. If the student of knowledge doesn't have that ability, then he is to follow. He needs to ask and take the advice of those whom he asks. There's a brother who's older than me, who's been in Medina longer than me, or a scholar or a teacher. I want to listen to Sheikh Fudlan's classes. I want to join this Arabic class, or this Hadith class, or this Aqidah class. Advisable or not. He says, don't go. Don't go. Regardless whether the person is deviant, person of innovation, regardless whether the person is unqualified, or there's a class that's better for you and more suitable for you, or this class is way too advanced for you. Take the advice, follow. As far as if you have the ability to think and to decipher and to discern, you can sit with whoever you want to sit with. And you can listen to whomever you want to listen to, because you have the ability to do what? To figure out what's what and what's not. Everybody clear on this? Just look at it like food and a baby. Huh? If you wanted to give a child some fish, would you give him the whole fish with the head, with the eyes, with the scale, with the spiky bones in it, the skin, and you wouldn't. You wouldn't give the baby fillet. You give them mushy. 2-year-old, 3-year-old. But a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old cannot eat like a what? A 7-year-old. No, not an adult. Not yet. A 7-year-old can eat like a what? An adult. A child or a 6-year-old from America is not like a 6-year-old that comes from Thailand, that comes from the Philippines or Malaysia, which is a fishing village. They know how to catch the fish, how to clean the fish, how to gut the fish, how to scale the fish. And the same applies to ilm. You have to give someone something simple and basic, easy, that they can what? Mush up and put it in their mouths. The knowledge is sound, it's clear, it's nothing technical, it's nothing confusing, there's no innovation, no misguidance. Bismillah. But that's not the same as a child that's what? That has the ability to say, this is the meat of the fish, and that's the bone. Don't eat the bones. Why can that? It's just that simple. So if you have the ability to figure out by yourself. And of course, that's relative in itself. That's what? That's relative in itself. But the moment that is something that's doubtful, you're not sure, you're unsure, when do I reach this conclusion? That proves that the issue is not 100% what? Black and white. It's not that simple of an issue. Everybody understand this? And it's a very, very long discussion with regards to seeking knowledge and learning and studying. We don't have the time to get into the details right now. The misconceptions regarding this issue. That you can't sit with this person, but you can't sit with that person. This is clear. That's unclear. That's my advice right now. And Allah knows best.
This is K.A. from UK. I ask Allah to preserve you. Those who will be coming with Isa alayhi salam in the second coming, will they be from the Hawariyun or companions of Isa alayhi salam?
We need the city or the town, inshallah ta'ala. Next question.
This is F. Ali from London, UK. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh Mufti. How did Muslim Spain, Andalusia study Hadith?
How do what?
Muslim Spain /
Andalusia
study Hadith.
How do they study Hadith?
How did they?
They study Hadith? Question coming from London, UK, regards to how did Muslims in Spain or Andalusia study Hadith? In general, they studied Hadith like the rest of the Muslims. The same principles like the rest of the Muslim world. There are certain specific technicalities between ulama of the East and the West. Back in the day, Al-Mashriq and Al-Maghrib. And the Maghrib, in most cases, was Portugal, Spain, Andalusia, North Africa. Okay? And Al-Mashriq, whether it's Iraq or Egypt, Nishapur, etc. Just like there's certain technicalities with regards to the earlier scholars and the later scholars. But these things, none of them are like core issues. None of them are core issues. أخبرنا وحدثنا وأنبأنا. Is Sahih Muslim better than Sahih Bukhari? Things like this. Certain technicalities. But there was ijazah, different types of ijazah, different things like this. But there was no core issue that's different from the East to West, 2nd century. It shouldn't be no difference. Everybody clear on that? The ulama in Spain study like the ulama in Iraq. There's hadith, there's sanad, there's matan, sahabi, tabi'i, sahih, da'if, illa, etc. And Allah knows best.
This was A.M. from Singapore. A hadith narrated by Ahmed where Sa'id al-Khudri was suffering from a sore leg and his brother came in and saw him lying with one leg crossed over the other, so he hit him. On the sore leg later mentioning that the Prophet forbade sitting as such. Is it authentic? If so, is it not allowed for us to cross our legs when lying or sitting?
Tayyib. How much time do we have?
2 minutes.
Tayyib. Inshallah ta'ala, this will be our first question tomorrow night. Bidnillah. So please, brother or sister from Singapore, make sure that you're online. Or we'll answer your question first, Bidnillah ta'ala, with regards to the hadith and with regards to the issue. Inshallah ta'ala, I want to start the answer and then we get what? Cut off with the adhan. And Allah knows best. Jazakumullah khairan.